President wants to meet with weed farmers. GCOM employee sues GPF for unlawful arrest. 2 arrested for drugged-up floor mats. And Biden eyes Venezuela's oil after Russian sanctions. What does that have to do with us? I am Enrico Ford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. On Wednesday, Guyana's legal team will be submitting its statements in the ongoing border case against Venezuela at the International Court of Justice. In March of 2018, Guyana filed its application with the ICJ to confirm the validity and binding effect of the arbitral award of 1899. In recent years, the US, CARICOM, and Brazil have expressed support for us. Yesterday, the president said to the media that he plans to meet with marijuana farmers from across the nation to convince them to grow hemp instead. He is firm that the hemp industry is a lucrative one, and Guyana's economy can benefit significantly from its production and sale. However, it is unclear how the farmers will be identified for the meeting with the president, nor under what terms and circumstances is this meeting taking place. Last month, CGX Energy excitedly announced the discovery of the Kawa 1 well on the quarantine block. Then they said they will focus on this concession instead of carrying out other work commitments on the Demerara and Berbice blocks. However, the Minister of Natural Resources is not having it. Minister Barrett wants CGX to honor its contractual obligations, that 2 commitment exploration wells must be drilled on the Demerara block prior to February 12, 2023. CGX and the ministry are currently in talks about the matter. Harman has now stepped down altogether as a member of parliament. He submitted his official resignation on Thursday. It takes effect on March the 15th. This now opens up another opportunity for Aubrey Norton to become the next opposition leader. Last month, Nicolette Henry announced her resignation from parliament. That resignation, however, was effective March 31st. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2014 Audi Q3. It comes with Bluetooth, mug rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, electronic parking brake, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $5.6 million, or pay down as low as $1,120,000 down, with around $108,000 monthly for 5 years, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peterborough Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Enrico sent you for this sweet deal. Winston Jordan will be back in court on April 29th for the misconduct in public office charge he is facing in relation to a multi-million-dollar land sale to PK Marine. Soku wants to sentence Jordan without a full trial, while his defense wants him to have a proper trial. On April 29th, the magistrate will hear from both sides as to where to take this case. GCOM employee Michelle Miller is suing the police for $175 million in damages, arguing that she was falsely arrested and charged in the alleged fraud committed during the 2020 national elections. Miller contends that her detainment breached her constitutional rights, and the stress caused her to be hospitalized due to her blood pressure spiking. Meanwhile, in October 2020, she was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to defraud and was released on $60,000 bail. On Sunday, 31-year-old carpenter Maneshwaprasad drowned after the boat he was traveling in capsized in the Pomeroon River. He was with 2 other passengers, his father and brother-in-law, when the boat sank. The trio swam to shore, but Prasad was unable to reach the shore. However, his father and brother-in-law later sent a search party to find him, and his body was later pulled from the river. You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. On Saturday, Kanu busted 2 women following the discovery of $5.6 million worth of cocaine laced in mats at the Ogle International Airport. 22-year-old Akata McCabe Garnett was arrested at the airport with 5.2 kilograms of cocaine. She was actually an outgoing passenger to a flight to Barbados, whilst 32-year-old Malika Scott was arrested shortly thereafter. The accident in Agricola that killed 24-year-old motorcyclist Niall Berkeley last week has since claimed the life of the other victim, 66-year-old Shirley Hollingsworth. On Sunday, Hollingsworth succumbed to the injuries she received when Berkeley's motorcycle knocked her down. She was picked up in an unconscious state and sent to the hospital where she later died of injuries. It's now time for today's Run Report. Today, the nation recorded 7 new cases. There are now 1,223 persons dead, 5 in the ICU, 206 in home isolation. And the total number of confirmed cases around the nation now stands at 63,062. So please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Who said luxury can't be affordable? Move into your own home in 2022. Lenore Estates, West Coast Demerara properties are within your reach. Move out of the landlord's place and put that rent money towards your own 5,000 square foot property. Call or WhatsApp 592-618-5702 or +1 516-476-2172 for more info. And now for our stupid news of the day. You know what I think is stupid? The inability to think on an international scale. In today's world, a conflict on the other side of the planet can and will affect you in some way, shape, or form. Last week, CARICOM told member states to brace for even higher food import prices. And now our government is trying to put measures in place to bring those prices down. But record oil prices are having a residual effect on transportation and shipping costs, making almost everything more expensive, not just oil and food. Now, with the US cutting off Russian oil imports to their country, they are now desperately seeking a new source for their addiction to dinosaur juice. So this brings us to last Saturday, when top White House officials traveled to Venezuela to talk oil with Maduro. They hope to pull Caracas further away from Moscow after Venezuela abstained from a vote condemning Russia for the invasion of Ukraine. Some in the US are considering Venezuelan oil as a possible substitute to Russian imports, which will bring some very valuable and much-needed money into the crumbling government that Maduro currently heads. While this may just be idle talk between two nations, I wanted to bring this whole situation to your attention, because oil might be the very thing that shifts US policy towards Venezuela, or at least in a more positive light than during the Trump administration. Now, do I believe that this thaw in relations will encourage Maduro to then have enough, gumption to go and attack Guyana? Well, of course not. That's absolutely stupid. But I do want to leave you with 2 thoughts. Number 1, America does not have friends. It has interests. And 2, Venezuela has way more oil than us. And they're more desperate. Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your answers, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Friday's question was, how do you feel about the new Trini Bank entering the Guyanese market? Burton Evans says, don't let that Trinidad Bank come there. They don't like poor people. The realist one seems to agree with Burton. They say we need Guyanese banks, so our money stays here. I've seen in Barbados where most of the banks are Trinidadian owned. The Trini people get loans, so they build the Trini economy. So if we put our money in the banks, we're building Trinidad, not Guyana. Well, that's definitely one way to view it. Meanwhile, Carl Crossman has a different view. Carl says it's the best idea to remove the Canadian Scotiabank and keep it within the Caribbean family and CARICOM. Indeed, that's one way to look at it. And finally, our Seaview Farm says, nothing from Trinidad should be established in Guyana. They are a hindrance for Guyana's businesses to export goods freely. Trinidad blocks all honey produced in Guyana from passing through their ports destined for other islands and countries. I know firsthand that Trinidad only exports very few Guyanese products because they are selfish. So no to the bank. We need more reputable banking industries, not small island businesses. I hate to say it, but you are absolutely correct. You have a very solid point there, especially about the honey. It's a shame. So what happened to this whole let me just save that rant for another stupid news day. So, tonight's question. Do you think the US meeting with Venezuela will eventually lead to improved relations between the two nations, or is it all just idle talk at the moment? So, think about that question, tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.